Mr. WNBA Hakeem Prophet has started just where he left off 3 weeks into the WNBA season. He's now 8-4 in total plays while hitting 83% in NBA playoff totals, 10-2. Ski's WNBA season is $269, which is now discounted down to $199. Plus, if you purchase this special before Sunday, you will get the rest of his NBA playoff totals for free. To get Hakeem Prophet's WNBA and his NBA totals through the finals, it would cost you $448. But right now, you can lock in all of these plays for just $199.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome back right here to WagerTalk TV for another episode of Puck Time. I am Andrew McInnis, joined by Carmine, Bianco, and Lawrence Perezman. I'm going to go with you, Carm. I'm going to start with you and ask you how your night was last night and what's going on for you tonight at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, yesterday was a pretty good day, I'm going to say. 4-0 overall, 3-0 in Euro soccer, and 1-0 in NHL with the Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation time. I didn't want to pay that price. They were 120 in regulation line, and they got the job done. So on to today. It's another busy day. A couple games up today at noon. Start time in Euros, and then NHL tonight, Andrew. So I'm looking forward to it. And of course, my second favorite guest on the show. Let's bring him in, the Prez.
I would assume that's your second favorite guest out of the three. Look at my image, man. I got some loving Montreal woman behind me. I mean, listen, dude, she could make me a Habs fan flat out. I will just go out. I will lay it on the line. I lost last night. I had the under in the Tampa Bay game and got tossed and turned between Tampa Bay in regulation and the under. And these regulation plays make me so nervous with all these games going to overtime. But I felt like I had the right pick. You know, Carm, there were 2 goals yesterday in that game that really shouldn't have happened. First one, New York Islanders scored on a power play that should have been Tampa Bay's power play. Braden Point got cross-checked into the goalie and then had a rest in the penalty box. New York Islanders scored. And then the second goal by Tampa Bay, they had 6 guys on the ice, which I understand. Look, they need every advantage they could get, but that shouldn't have been a goal. And then, of course, the empty net didn't go in, but Vasilevsky thought he had the puck on that 6th goal. I called it right, got it wrong, but I have started a small run in NHL, and I'm feeling really good about this round. So onwards and upwards. Let's get to Andrew, and just let me have a moment with my favorite Montreal Canadian woman. That'd be you, Andrew. No, that's
for sure.
you.
It's not too bad.
No.
Oh, well, if that's me, all right. I don't know how to take that, but I'll be your favorite Montreal person. That's what I'll be for you. But yeah, last night, you know, I did have a loser in the MLB, but the MLB run is still really, really strong. I'll have a coupon code for my MLB season at the end of the show. Winner in the NHL on the over, and a loser in soccer action on both teams to score in the Germany match. So that one was kind of tough, but I actually have a match going on right now as we speak in Euro Cup, and I've posted my first 5% soccer play probably in 3 or 4 months, which goes this Saturday. So lots of time to grab that play. But you can use the coupon code PASS39 to get 3 days of action for the price of 1. So you can use that code, you know, now or later in the week, and that way you can get all my plays for the next couple days for just the price of 1 day. I want to make sure you guys know this. I feel like some people still don't know. We have made a Twitter account, Carmine and I. We made it months and months ago, but I feel like some people might not still know about it. At PuckTimeWT, we're tweeting out jersey contests, live picks, details about our show. And last night, I gave out, again, if you guys know me, I said it already, I feel like printing t-shirts with the phrase third period over on it. I gave out the over 4.5 minus 160 and over 5.5 plus 208. Both of those come in. Game finishes 4-2. Like I said, guys, I feel like if you like unders right now in the NHL playoffs, you're better off looking at the first period under and just, enjoying the rest of the game, because these third periods, you have no idea what's going to happen with the empty net goals or with the team that pulls their goalie scoring a goal. You never really know what's going to happen. So make sure you guys follow us over at PuckTimeWT and get all the info from us for free picks and for show information. Let's jump into today's show, though, guys, and let's get into some of the odds for today. Series price has moved, currently plus 705 for the Montreal Canadiens. It was already a massive price, but it's moved even more. Current price for tonight's game, Golden Knights minus 270, Canadiens plus 220. The puck and a half on either side, plus 1.5, minus 120 for the Canadiens, and plus 100 for the Golden Knights. Number sits at 5, but just like yesterday with the Tampa and New York game, you can find some 5.5s out there if you want the over or if you want the under to lay juice either way. I'm going to start with you, Carm. What are your thoughts here on game 2?
Andrew, it's a tough series, just in the sense of it's a tough series for Montreal. Obviously, everything I said, or most of what I thought, pretty much played out in game 1, that they were going to have a tougher time. Obviously in an arena where it's pretty much a huger fan base, a team that forechecks much better than the teams that they faced in Winnipeg and Toronto in those 2 series. Vegas just played a great game, took control of that game, and very well take control of the series with a win tonight. A win tonight can stretch out or is going to shorten this series very quickly to, I hate to say it, 4 or 5 games. They're just playing extremely well, this Vegas team. There's not a lot of holes in this team right now, and we've seen it from the end of that Colorado series onwards. They figure out how to beat Colorado, and they're just a team that is picking up steam. The narrative you pick for tonight's game is it will decide which way you want to bet this game. If you believe Montreal will be better than they were last time out, then you take Montreal, let's say on that plus 1.5, and you lay $1.20, and you figure they either win the game, keep it close, and you cash that 1.5. If you believe that we're going to see much of what we saw in game 1 again in game 2, then you take the even money on Vegas and you lay the goal and a half, and look for a similar scoreline to what we saw. As far as the total goals, it's sitting at 5 right now that I'm seeing, and we've seen again with last night's game going over and the total was 5. It's now something like 22, 10, and 4 to the over. 22 wins, 10 pushes, 4 losses. I might be off 1 or 2 on that. I'll get that confirmed, but when taking the over 5. So another game, we're seeing goalies being pulled, and Prez will talk about this next, with 4.5, 5 minutes left in the game. I think in game 1, that score was 4-1, and Montreal pulled their goalie with almost 5 minutes left on that clock. So I'm more likely to take the over 5 here. But for me, it's gotta be Vegas and the over here.
Yeah, that was crazy, Carm. I saw a lot of people, both from WagerTalk and just other people I see on the network, just tweeting about, almost apologizing to anybody that had the under before it even lost. They were just like, "Oh, sorry guys, 4 minutes with the goalie pulled, like that's a tough beat." And somehow, they just don't go for it. And I think that what a lot of people aren't realizing about the Vegas Golden Knights in this series, and just in general, you look at how they beat Colorado, how they beat Minnesota, and what separates them from a lot of teams in this league. First of all, game plan, lateral passes. It was very apparent to me that was a strategy for them from the get-go to try and beat Carey Price. They were lateral one-timers as much as they can, shots from the point, traffic. I think that this is credit for the Vegas Golden Knights, but I think the advantage for them in game 1 was that they were able to be kind of more, greasy, I guess I could say, than the Montreal Canadiens. All of their goals were around the net or were off a deflection and stuff like that. Carey Price stopped everything that he saw But anything he couldn't see, he obviously he's not going to be able to save that. I mean, there was one play where it went off a skate, went right out to a player for a shot. Everybody thought he was going to shoot it. Then he passes it to a guy for a wide open net. Tough for a guy like Carey Price to save that. So, you know, from my vantage point, I feel like it's kind of a good thing to look at it like, hey, Carey Price never got beat clean. But the tough thing is the Montreal Canadiens, they're realizing that against the the Leafs and the Jets, they had far more time to hold on to the puck. And against the Vegas Golden Knights, you just don't have that time. One thing I also wanted to mention about the Vegas Golden Knights, I wish I had these stats around me for the whole playoffs. I think it was like 50-something points, but they had 8 points. The defensemen combined for 8 points in game one. If you're a prop guy, if you love looking at point props, I know it worked all year long for me with Cale Makar for the Colorado Avalanche. Look at some point props for the Vegas Golden Knights defensemen. People don't realize how much of an advantage that is to almost add a fourth forward to a rush. And you're creating not just a 3-on-2, but a 4-on-2, unless that centerman is back checking for the Montreal Canadiens. And I think that they didn't really see that with Toronto or Winnipeg. Morgan Rielly is outstanding for that with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He did that against the Canadiens, and I believe he scored 1 or 2 times on those set face-off goals. And just the chemistry, guys, of the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, they always know where their teammate is. They always know where to find them. But, you know, I think that this term I'm going to use is so cliche. And I was on Sports Grid last night discussing this. The term my game, playing our game, is so thrown around with sports. They always say in intermissions or in post game, they want to play their game. I feel like the Montreal Canadiens played their game for about 11 minutes. And then they started to play pond hockey and play the Vegas Golden Knights game. And it's not how they're going to win. They're going to win by going from behind the net, dumping the puck in deep, trying to get physical. And I feel like they will do that more. Jeff Petrie will most likely be back in the lineup for them. Before I go to Prez, I'll tell you guys this. I locked in this wager last night. Montreal Canadiens team total over 1.5. I believe it was like minus 145 or 150. Everybody wants to say to me, well, why are you doing that? Why are you laying juice with a team you can get a plus price at? Because I truthfully believe if the Canadiens lose tonight's game, they're going to score 2 goals. And I'm comfortable laying minus 145 in the playoffs because, as many people have said, and I've heard Teddy on Prez's show and Dave say in the playoffs, you're kind of a little bit more willing to lay a price like that. I'm also looking at the plus a half goal in the first period for the Canadiens. But I do advise all of you guys out there, if you're betting the Vegas Golden Knights, I don't even think, you know, take regulation and stuff like that. Go ahead and take that minus 1.5 puck line. If Vegas wins, I don't think it'll be by 1. That's why I'm telling people, if you're betting the Montreal Canadiens to win the game, don't bet that plus 1.5. Don't turn a great plus price into a minus 125. Just my opinion. But I think that if Vegas wins, they're going to win outright. If the Canadiens win, you know, it'll be a clean one. So I'll go to Prez on his thoughts on this game. I think it's obviously a huge game for the Canadiens to bounce back. You've been known to fade them throughout this playoffs, Prez, but they're in tough this time around.
Oh, Andrew, that was loquacious, brother. What show am I on? Puck time. Yes, puck time. Okay, so let's talk about. I want to get all my thoughts out,
Prez. It's all you. It's all you.
I get you. I thought we were doing the series price first, but anyway, I thought you were awesome, Andrew, and the blue behind you, just so sweet. Anyway, series price minus 1,000 to Vegas. Let me just say something about all of that really quick. Man, many years ago when Muhammad Ali reigned in the heavyweight division, minus 1,000 was a bet most bettors would happily take. Somehow over the last 30, 40 years, bettors have shied away from the heavy juice and are looking for minus 110s to the plus number. Man, think about this. You lay 10 to 1, you're making 10% return on your money in a week if you take Vegas. If any of you guys can make me 10% return every 7 to 10 days, I am in. Let me know where. I will send you lots of money. I am in. Minus 1,000 in Vegas. Well, that's a free 10%. So please, people, do not shy away from taking that bet because it'll win. The next thing is, let me take apart sort of the entire matchup, if you will. This is the way I look at it. Look, I'm impressed with the Canadiens and how they're playing. Outstanding goaltending. I mean, Carey Price made a left to right pad save in that game that was just world class. He made a right to left glove hand save, world class. The top 4D on Montreal are spectacular. They are keeping everybody to the outside. They're letting Carey Price see the puck. I am very impressed with how Montreal has played. And look, the way Montreal came out in game one, that first sort of 7 minutes, that to me said, hey, they could play with this team. They were all over them. They got the young guys up front. They are trying to keep to the pace. I was extremely impressed with Montreal in game one. With that said, Vegas is the fastest team in all of hockey by far. I mean, it's not even close. All four of their lines are faster than anybody. Their fourth line has crazy speed. Third, second, first. Most people, when they watch a team with a lot of speed, they see cycling with the puck. They see teams enter the zone holding the puck instead of dumping and chasing. And they feel like, well, this is really great for the offense. These guys are buzzing all over the place. They're holding the puck. Montreal Canadiens are going to let that team circle all day long. They're going to, the defensemen are savvy veteran guys. They're going to hold their position. They're going to watch Vegas go around in circles, and they're going to keep Vegas's shots from the outside. Where speed matters the most is not on offense. Speed matters the most on defense. Vegas swarms everybody. Nathan McKinnon had no space. Landeskog, no space. The only two people that had any space in that Colorado series was Gerard and Cale Makar, and that's because they start with the puck behind their net. This Vegas team provides no space to their opponent, and the way they hold that blue line when the other team is trying to enter the zone is world class. I think we got an under. I don't love taking unders because it's 5, but I really feel like Montreal is going to struggle to score all series. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to win a couple of games here or there. The bottom line is Vegas is going to score from the outside, which means there are going to be long stretches where they don't score at all. And we saw that in game one. Montreal has to score down low. The only way Montreal scores a goal is on the inside, and that's Vegas's Achilles heel. So to me, I look at the under in this game. I look at Vegas's speed as something where Montreal will have very little space to make any moves. And I see Montreal's defense as smart enough to not get caught chasing the cycle. So I actually think under is the right play here. I know it's 5, but I mean, if you guys think about it, can you see a 2-1, 3-1 hockey game? And then it just comes down to what happens with the empty net. So let's hope we have a goal to spare with the empty net. I like under the total of 5.
Great stuff, Prez. I've heard that you cashed the under, I believe, in the first period in game 1. Is that true? Because I'm curious if you'd go back on that. No? Okay,
no.
Sorry. It must have been somebody else. But would you?
I took the under in the game in game 1.
Okay.
And,
but would you ever look for the first period? Because you hate Andrew, these empty netters, right?
Listen, as far as totals in the first period, I don't have a problem. If it's 1.5, I haven't looked, but if it's 1.5, under in the first period is a spectacular play. I don't ever bet teams to win in the first period. That just makes no sense to me. But Dave and you are really good at it, so kudos. We all sort of find our thing. I'm not going to touch the first period here. I will say this, though. If you guys do think Montreal has a chance, I would take them in the first period because we saw in the first game, they came out flying. I think we're going to see the same thing tonight. I think they're going to come out flying. I would have no problem with anyone taking the Habs in the first period. It's probably a big plus price. So I have no issue with that. But yeah, man, I just wish this line was 5.5.
Well, just like yourself, Prez, I hate the empty net goals. I love them when I take these third period overs like last night. Like I got a plus 208 Prez on a 5.5. I got
Andrew.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying though. If you take the first period under, there's no possibility of 2 empty net goals. There's no possibility. It's the first period. So if you think it's going to be a low scoring game, you get a 1-0 or 0-0 first period. You're 20 minutes in and you've cashed your bet. That's the thing I like about the first period totals. I don't really bet first period sides. Carm, I did want to bring something up to you because I've heard you've mentioned these a couple times and I haven't mentioned them too much. I'm not the most analytical guy. I wish I had Brian Leonard on with me today. But the advanced stats for game 1 under 1,000 simulations. Montreal, if they play this game 1,000 times, they win 54% of the time. Expected goals, 4.4 for Montreal and 3.39 for the Vegas Golden Knights. So I'm not an analytical guy. I don't usually talk numbers, but just throwing those out there for the expected goals for all of you guys out there that are into the analytics.
So Andrew, sorry to jump in, Carm. So Andrew, to summarize, if a fantasy Vegas team plays a fake Montreal team in a made-up simulation, it would be Montreal winning 54% of the time. Is that so? I mean, if you put peanut butter on bread and eat it, you would swallow it 100% of the time. I mean, what?
So it's like how the Toronto Maple Leafs in game 5, 6, and 7, 54% of the time should have won that game, but their best players combined for 1 goal in the series, so they didn't win the series. That's kind of how the
Andrew,
analytics
how did
work.
we get how do we get into the Toronto Maple Leafs here? I'm not mocking the
just
Canadiens.
Something you might understand.
I'm not mocking the Canadiens. I'm mocking fantasy land.
No, I know. I'm putting it into reference though, like how the analytical stuff works. It's just like theoretically, if they played 1,000 times, then those dangerous scoring opportunities would turn into that amount of goals, is what it's saying pretty much. But Montreal doesn't have those same goal scorers as other teams, and so they don't capitalize on their opportunities. But I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm not,
dude.
Guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not an analytical guy.
I'm enjoying this discussion here. It's great because I can just listen to you guys go at it. The final, I don't know what the numbers going into the game were. The final analytical numbers were pretty much even. I think if I look at them right now quickly, the final numbers were 3.33 to 3.53 expected goals against for the Golden Knights based on what happened within the game. So it's pretty even with what happened during the game. But obviously the Vegas Golden Knights took advantage of every single opportunity, and those are goals that they should have had 3.53. So given the fact that they scored 4, they were right there. Montreal didn't take advantage of the chances they had. So you've got to look at that. And
exactly,
you can look at chances like on the power play with Cole Caulfield. He missed a gaping wide net. He did score on one right after that, but those are considered high dangerous chances that add to the expected goals for at the end of a game.
Exactly.
But the game is still played on the ice until it's not. I'll continue to go with the team I think is the better team. And that's where I'm at right now. So.
Yeah, and Andrew, for the record, Prez, I was shocked seeing that.
Andrew,
I'm just letting you know, I was shocked to see those numbers.
Well, listen, dude, you're going to be more shocked at this. While Carm was talking, I was doing a simulation. If I ask 1,000 of the hottest women ever to sleep with me that night, I will get a yes 34% of the time. That's not bad.
Over
I'll
1,000
be
times?
back in a few hours. I got asking to do.
Prez, hold on. Come back. I know we can't get this too R-rated, but no joke. I know a story from a guy that literally stood outside a bar with protection in his hand and just looked at every girl and said, "What do you think? What do you think?"
That's what
So
my
he ran
brother
his own
did for 5 years. Andrew,
He
my
ran his
brother
own
literally did that
simulation.
for 5 years. 5 years.
Prez,
He did
this
that.
guy ran his own simulation. he ran his
Yeah.
own experiment.
Yeah.
I would never do that, but that was kind of funny because it kind of makes your point that you were joking, but this guy actually did it. Yeah, guys, I mean, the chemistry for Vegas is just unbelievable. The way that they always find each other. I think the biggest key in game one, like I said, were the defensemen, but we're also just the fact that if you look at it, line one and even line two for the Vegas Golden Knights, they don't do too much in that game, and yet they still come out victorious. And I think the Montreal Canadiens have to win games when Mark Stone or Pacioretty or guys like that aren't scoring. One thing that was kind of exciting to look at from a Montreal Canadiens standpoint, they won the hit battle. They were, 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. And on the road against Vegas, the number one face-off team in the playoffs, Montreal won 56% of the face-off. So we'll see if that can turn into anything. But obviously, one of the goals where they lost the face-off turned into a slap shot goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. Very difficult. But in closing thoughts for me, a lot of people are going to want to look at that plus 1.5 goals for the Canadiens. I think if you guys are looking at betting them in the full game, just take the money line. But my favorite bet, and I know this isn't a plus price, is either number one, the team total over 1.5, or number two, the plus half goal in the first period. If you're betting the Vegas Golden Knights, lay that minus 1.5, guys. Obviously, I mean, you can take regulation as well and still get a decent price and stuff like that. But I don't think in any games of this series that if Vegas wins, it'll be by just one goal. That's just my thoughts. If Canadiens win, it'll be a close game. And if Vegas wins, I think it'll be a little bit more marginal. Carm, before we get into best bets, I know you've kind of been scanning the board for some of these props. Is there anything that stuck out for you from what you saw in game one that you wanted to approach for game two?
Yeah, just to your point of, and just like one other point as far as this game goes before we get like into props and what have you is, tonight's game is going to determine this series. And what I mean by that in the sense is if the Canadiens come out and don't compete tonight and lose another game 4-1, 5-1, this series is done and it's not going more than 5 games. Montreal is not winning, even 2 of the last 5 games in this series. If they don't compete tonight, this series is done. They go back to Montreal. At worst, they split, come back, and it ends in Vegas. We need to see something from the Canadiens tonight to show that they can compete with this Vegas team. And it's not out of the realm. I'm not saying this is a slam dunk for the Vegas Golden Knights. We've seen time and time again in the playoffs this year where a team does not look good in game one and comes back with a very good performance in game two. So I'm not ruling out the Canadiens here, Andrew. There's the point I'm trying to make. As far as props, I looked at a lot of them. One's going to be my best bet at the end of the show, Andrew. One really stands out, and I can't play it, and I'm going to tell you why. Is because the juice is too high on it. I looked at the numbers on Pietrangelo of Vegas. His shots on goal, 2.5. He is registering a ton of shots. Some games 6, 7 shots on goal from this guy, from a defenseman. But the 2.5 over 2.5 is a $1.75, minus 175. That's just too much juice to lay on a shot prop. I wish they had an alternate one where you could take over 3.5 and pay little or no juice or get plus money on them. But that's one that really stands out. I just can't lay the minus 175 or tell you guys to lay $1.75. That's just not what I do. The one I will take, I'll mention at the end of the show, Andrew, because I'm sure you have a prop segment coming up.
Well, I just wanted to go through some of these, but the main one I wanted to discuss was the exact same wager, Carm, that I discussed yesterday on our Prop It Up show with Andy Lang and Mid-Major Matt. We do that every Tuesday evening, and we're going to get back into the NFL once that comes back. But it's the team shots on goal, Carm and Prez. I mean, a lot of people are looking at betting these individuals, and I'll be completely honest. I started off red hot with these shots on goals. I was messaging you and messaging Prez and letting you guys know some of these ones that I was jumping on. But now what I've turned into doing is betting these teams as a whole, because you could literally get a bunch of guys that get two and lose, and if you're looking to bet overs with these kind of props, which is kind of where I've gone, then you kind of want to look as a full team. And most books, guys, will either offer you a goalie saves or a team shots. To me, it's obviously relatively the same, except for a shot will count as a goal. Obviously, a save is a save. But I'm looking at the combined 58.5 over shots for both teams together and the over 29.5 shots for the Montreal Canadiens. Last night, I cashed a ticket with the over for shots for the Tampa Bay Lightning at 31.5, a team that I thought was going to win the game. And I look at Vegas's, theirs is 31.5 tonight. And I think that they could win this game and actually put up 27, 28 shots, because if they get a decent lead, they will protect that lead and maintain possession and not continue to fire as many pucks. But I think no matter what, if Montreal is up or they're down, it's going to be, like Prez was saying, scoring from the inside. They're going to have to just float pucks in and just get as many shots as they can on Marc-Andre Fleury. And the number, like I said, for the Montreal Canadiens is 29.5. So that's one that I was looking at for them. I don't have too many shot props. I was looking at Tyler Toffoli. I was mentioning with Andy Lang yesterday. He was cashing, I don't know if you remember this, Carm, he was cashing a bunch of tickets on the under for Toffoli in the Jet series. All of a sudden, he's a lot bigger of a factor. He's a lot, playing bigger role. And kind of has that green light to shoot. So looking at his shots, and there was one other one I was looking for, and it's kind of hard to deny, but like Carmine said, you don't want to lay prices with this, but minus 150, you can get Mark Stone over 2.5 shots. And I think that Montreal did a good job of shutting him down a little bit in game one, but I feel like he'll be back out there and putting up those shots in game number 2. But the team shots or the goalie saves is what I'm going to recommend you guys grab for today's show. For both teams combined or the Montreal Canadiens over 29.5 shots. Prez, you have been red hot over the past, since I've known you, in 5% plays, but specifically the past, I'd say 4 to 6 months with your 5% plays, and you do have one up tonight.
Not anymore. No 5% play.
Oh,
sorry. It's
sorry
not your fault, dude. I'll tell you. I mean, line move, and play got pulled down. Andrew, I got 2 NBA plays. I got 1 baseball play. I got 1 hockey play. I'm also hosting a poker game tonight for the first time in 6 months. Carmine, Bianco coming by. So I've got an extra, I think, $250 is the average amount you lose to me every time we play poker, Carm? I can't remember. Somewhere around that.
I don't think I've ever lost any money to you. And I'm only coming because I got my second vaccine shot yesterday, got the Pfizer. So my trip to Vegas is booked. I'm going to come and take some of that money, whether you hide it under the mattress, on the poker table, or in your pool house. It doesn't really matter. It's coming home with me tonight. So, but you don't care. Dude, just the interest you earn on the money that you have in the bank probably can buy somebody a Bentley every week. So whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I make $500,000 in interest a week, everybody. And You know, that it's good to be me. Anyway, my best bet is the under in the hockey game tonight. What a fun show. The fact that we were able to discuss one game for 36 minutes is a testament to the two of you. Guys, man, I come on the show once a week and it's like 174 people watching, 23 likes. What? Guys, it takes a second to give these two awesome gentlemen a like. Not only are they coming on here every day providing you incredible info, Andrew hits 2 dog bets in one day yesterday. They've created a Twitter group. Carm gives out free shirts. Andrew's working on free this. 21 freaking likes. Come on, guys. Anyway, under.
Under for Prez. Love the energy. Always fun time having you on, Prez. I literally always have a natural laugh when you're on the show. Somebody called me out for my casual chuckles, apparently, on the show in the comment section. It's always a good laugh. And it's probably because I never know what you're going to say. I never know what your stories are going to be. And that's probably why they're always so funny for me. Carm, let's go to you, man. What's your best bet? What's going on for tonight? What do you have to promote? You already mentioned it off the top, but what's going on ASAP at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, a couple games kicking off. First one is at 12 o'clock. I will get another card up shortly with the 3 o'clock game. One game in NHL tonight. A 5% play is loaded for my clients so far for the weekend in Europlay. I'll have it up for sale shortly. I'm going to talk about really quickly. My best bet on the show yesterday was Stamkos over half a point on the power play plus 130. He got a point on that last power play goal. I don't know where it came from because I didn't see him touch the puck in the minute that they had possession in the Islanders zone. I'm watching him and I never saw him touch the puck. They gave it to him. Maybe they felt bad for me or something, but I'm glad we cashed that one. I'm going to go with Brendan Gallagher over 2.5 shots on goal minus 130 as the show best bet. 3 straight games where he's gone over that total, and I believe it's like for the last 6 as well too. If the Habs are playing catch up here, they're going to need to get some shots on goal. Let's go Gallagher. Get us at least 3. Let's cash this ticket.
Andrew, can I say something quick?
Go ahead, Prez.
Listen, it's in my opinion funny, and I don't say a lot of funny things. So I hang out with the same group of people, especially during COVID, because we bubble together, so to speak. So I've been hanging out with the same group of people for months and months and months. I'm out at a friend's house last Friday or something, and the guy says to me, if you were to write a book on sports betting, the name of the book would be I Need 6 Goals. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I need 6 goals. And I'm like, oh my God, is that real? My friends have decided that every time they see me, all I'm talking about is I need 6 goals. I just thought that was hilarious because clearly I've been playing the over too many times. But that is a great name for a book. Anyway.
I need 6
That's
goals.
It, guys. Yeah, guys.
Well, I need 2 goals
today.
Okay. I need 2 goals tonight. My best bet is the over 1.5 team total for the Canadiens. I need 2 goals. That's what I'm going for. It's not the best price. I got it on earlier. Shop around. Try and use multiple books, guys. Montreal over 1.5 on their team total. I love these kind of bets because even if they lose, I believe they'll still cash in on the team total. Carmine has Gallagher over 2.5 shots, the Prez with Canadiens, and the Golden Knights under 5 at a plus 120 price. Wager Talk today coming up right after this show at 12 o'clock Eastern time with Prez and Teddy. On behalf of Carm and Prez, I'm Andrew. We'll see you guys tomorrow right here on Wager Talk TV.
Over the past 365 days, if all you did was bet Kevin Dolan's boxing selections, you would be up plus 40% in profit. If you purchased Kevin's weekly boxing card, it would cost you $1,300 over the course of a calendar year. But for a limited time, we've slashed all that down to $199, saving you over $1,100.